Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. Today is Friday, July 29th, 2022. I am Joe Sarvati, affectionately known as Coach, and I am joined by the red hot, one and only Mr. Josh Crash Davis. Nice lineups last night, Crash.
Thank you. Yeah, we did well. Like I said, I really wish that I had not gotten off of Matt Chapman. I'm not sure why I did, but that was a big mistake. He hit 2 home runs, and I think he was the leading scorer on the slate as far as hitters go. So it would have been nice to have him, but
we still managed to get it done though, and Two Brains got in there a little bit as well.
Yep.
Yeah. If you're a viewer and you played the Two Brains and cash, let us know. Give us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. And appreciate everybody joining us today. If you're watching on YouTube, take this chance on the way in the door here to hit that thumbs up, subscribe button, and the little alarm in the corner. That'll let you know when any of our podcasts post. And we're in there usually in the mix during the premiere to answer questions and chat. So it's really a big plus if you have that alert button pushed. If you're listening on any of our audio podcast landing spots like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, wherever it is, take a second, hit the 5-star or top rating, and give us a little comment, couple of words, little comment of some sort. That gets you in a drawing, which is only 2 days away, 2 more days in the month, Crash. That is it. We are almost done with July, and our man Colin will do the randomizer. And one lucky person that is giving us that 5-star and comment will win a free month of Coach Talk. So definitely worth your time there. All right, we're going to dive into this slate today. We've got a fantastic 13-game main slate that starts at 7:05 on all 3 sites, Draftkings, Fanduel, and Yahoo. So you got to love that. So we're going to talk real quickly about the weather, just to give an early weather tidbit here. We do have 4 games that have the potential of rain. None of them look like washouts or early cancellations at this point. So we will keep an eye on these and post everything, including radars right there in Discord. And there's St. Louis and Washington is the one game. And we know how Washington is. Of all 30 teams, they're the city that seems to cancel the easiest. So it's always a little more nerve-wracking when there's a possibility of rain there. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Same thing on with the Yankees, right there on the coast. Little bit of chance of rain there, but I think it should be good. And then as normal at this time of the year in Atlanta, we have to watch for some thunderstorms, more than likely the kind that would delay, not cancel, but it does affect pitching at times. So we'll follow that one. And then the last one, we should be fine. It was fine yesterday, Dodgers and Rockies. Always a chance there at this time of year as well for some pop-up storms, but I think that we're going to be good. So more than likely, Crash, I think we're going to get all 13 games in on the main slate, which is nice. But if anything happens, we'll certainly keep everybody posted, both in Discord for our members and on Twitter for our non-members. All right, I'm going to go through the games here, my man. 15 games. We'll talk about the first 2 for like a second because they're not on the main slate. They're those 2 weird 640 games, and it's the Mets and Marlins, and it's 3.38 implied for the Mets, 3.13 implied for the Marlins. Chris Bassett versus Sandy Alcantara. Or Alcantara. What is it? Alcantara or
Alcantara, I believe. Yeah.
I think it is Alcantara too. I agree. And then the other games, Baltimore and Cincinnati, Cincinnati plays all their games at 640. They're never on a slate. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
I know.
And it's that one is Dean Kramer versus Mike Minor. So if you want to play that little 2-game early, go for it. We're going to be focusing all of our attention and everything that we're throwing into this main slate, Crash.
Yeah.
First game, 7:05, St. Louis Cardinals, Washington Nationals. Again, we'll watch the weather closely. There's a 50% chance of rain definitely at the start of this game. and it increases to 60% later in the game. So this is, I guess, the game to be most concerned about. And again, we know how Washington is with games.
Yeah.
80 degrees, slight breeze, but definitely a chance of rain. The total in this game is 9, 5.14 implied for the Cardinals, 3.86 implied for the Nationals. And we always use Draftkings prices for the purposes of going through the slate here. Miles Mikolas at 8.8K versus Anibal Sanchez at 5.2K. He's way cheaper than Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
And rightfully so, right? I mean,
right.
I mean, let's just say it right now. Aaron Judge, and you can argue this, you can yell at me or whatever, he's the best player in Major League Baseball. Do you agree?
I got to give it to Shohei Ohtani still. Because
really?
he can do just on both sides of the,
Well, he's a freak of nature because he can do both.
Yeah.
So I get that. And I guess that gives him an edge there. But as far as just strict ball player in the sense of the terminology that we've grown to know, I mean, his hitting is just ridiculous. His fielding is terrific too.
Yeah.
So just fantastic ball. I think he's the best. I'll take him.
No matter how you want to slice it, he's awesome. I mean, there's no doubt about that.
I'll take him for MVP. I want to put some future plays on. I think he's going to beat Ohtani out for MVP just because the Angels stink.
Yeah, I was listening to some announcers last night. I can't remember which game. I think it was maybe the Dodgers and the Rockies, and they were talking about that. And they both gave Ohtani the MVP over him just because of what he can do from both sides. And I kind of agree, but I mean, I can definitely see Judge winning it too. So.
Yeah, I mean, the Yankees are going to have an incredible record, and the Angels are going to have a bad record. I know that isn't supposed to be a huge thing, but it's a differentiator. I mean, it's, you got to take that into consideration a little bit, in my opinion. You can argue that point. Yeah. But anyway, it's the Kansas City Royals at the New York Yankees, 705. 8.5's the total. How about the Royals? 2.70. Ouch, for the implied. And 5.80 for the Yankees. So somewhat of a, little bit of a favorite here, the Yankees in this game.
Yeah.
Mr. Chris Bubich, the lefty, at 6.4K against Garrett Cole at 10.4K. Phillies and Pirates also at 705. By the way, in New York, slight chance of rain, 30 to 40%, 82 degrees, a little bit of a breeze blowing out to left center at 9 miles an hour. Nicer weather in Pittsburgh, though, for that Phillies-Pirates game. Sunny, 78, 10 miles an hour out to left. Total in that game is 8, 4.15 implied for Philly, 3.85 for the Pirates. Bailey Falter, the lefty for Philly, at 5.9K. Against the veteran that I would think they're going to trade, Jose Quintana, the lefty at 6.9K, and probably his last Pirates outing, I would think.
I would think so. Yeah.
And keep, stay in tune on Discord or on Twitter, because this is the kind of guy that gets scratched and traded, before games. You never know. And the trade deadline is Tuesday, and teams are going to be making some moves. So we will see how that one rolls. 7:07, 2 minutes later. If you're really wanting to catch first pitch, it's Detroit at Toronto in the Dome in Toronto, which it'll probably be open with good weather there. It's at 8.5 total, a pathetic 2.61 implied for Detroit. My goodness. And 5.89 for Toronto. So Yankees and Toronto both equally as massive favorites today. For Detroit, the Hill, it's Brian Garcia, 4.2K.
Wow.
That's hilarious.
That
and
is.
Alek Manoah at 9.4K. I could be mistaken, but I don't know if I've seen a pitcher at 4.2K that's starting a game.
Yeah, I don't think I ever have. That's insane to me.
That is hysterical. He's like a backup infielder price. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Well, I guess a starting infielder, but still. Yeah. All right. 7:10 Brewers, Red Sox, total of 9 here. It's beautiful weather in Boston. It looks like no rain. It's staying south of there. 84 degrees, breeze blowing out to right center at 9 miles an hour. 5.03 implied for your Brewers, 3.97 for Boston. Brandon Woodruff, 10K against the youngster Brian Bello, 4.8K. Another dirt cheap. You could roster the cheapest pitchers today that ever known. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're insanely low priced. Yeah.
Another 7-10 game, Guardians Rays in the Dome in Tampa. It's only a 7 total. Both sides have a 3.5 implied. Two nice pitchers, Bieber at 8.9K. Jeffrey Springs, the lefty, 7.9K. Arizona Diamondbacks at Atlanta Braves. First pitch is 7:20. Again, Atlanta, we got to watch about a 40 to 50% chance of showers at the beginning of that game. Again, that does affect pitchers the most, I think, if there's delay possibilities. It is a warm 85 in Atlanta, 8 miles an hour out to left. 8.5 is the total here, 3.39 for the Diamondbacks, 5.11 for Atlanta. Another big total. Madison Bumgarner, the old vet, lefty, 7K against Kyle Wright, 9.2K. Then we go up to the 8 o'clock hour, 8:10 Eastern. We've got the Oakland A's versus Chicago White Sox. Beautiful day in Chicago, 78 degrees, slight breeze, no wind to mention. Total of 8 in this game, 3.26 implied for Oakland, 4.74 for the White Sox. James Caprillion, I said it without a hitch.
Oh,
there
yeah.
you go. First time.
Nice.
I was going to switch and just call him Cappy, but now that I can say Caprillion, he's only 5.4K. So DraftKings reduced the prices on all these pitchers pretty dramatically.
Yeah, for sure.
Lance Lynn on the other side, the veteran, 6.8K, and he is an innings eater, so we'll see if he's going to get his form back. Also at 8:10, we've got the Seattle Mariners, Houston Astros, that great series we've been watching. In the Dome in Houston, 7.5 total, 3.22 implied for Seattle, 4.28 for the Astros. Robbie Ray, the lefty, 9.3K against a guy you may have heard of, Justin Verlander.
Yeah, once or twice.
10.5K. You've heard of him?
Yeah, once or twice I have.
How about the chalk game? We got this stupid Dodgers being in Colorado, so everybody's going to go bonkers. It's only a 20% chance of a shower there, so I doubt we're going to have any issues. The total's a little lower, though. It's only 11.5 rather than 12. But there is a nice 10-mile-an-hour breeze blowing out to dead center, and it's a pretty warm 76 in Colorado.
Yeah.
Here are the totals here. This is what makes it nice. 6.96 for the Dodgers and a respectable 4.54 for the Rockies. So certainly will be the most owned game on the slate. Julio Urias, the lefty, 9.8K against Chad Kuhl, another Pirates cast off at 5.5K. We go to LA now, the later games. 9:38, Texas Rangers, LA Angels. Beautiful day in LA like it always is. It seems like 74, slight breeze, beautiful weather. Both teams have a 3.75 implied total, so even on the mound. Martin Perez, the lefty, at 8.4K. Another lefty, Patrick Sandoval, at 7.7K. Two guys that have had quietly good seasons there for their teams.
Yeah.
Last two games, 9:40, Twins Padres, 7.5 total here. Perfect weather in San Diego, 69 degrees, slight breeze, 3.63 implied for the Twinkies, and 3.87 for the Friars. Joe Ryan, 8.7K on the mound for Minnesota, and the crafty lefty Blake Snell at 8.3K. And then the last game on the slate, it's a late night sweat game. It's at 10:15, so it's 35 minutes later than any other game. It's the Cubs and Giants in nice, cool, chilly San Francisco, 57 degrees at first pitch, and probably it'll get cooler. Little swirling breeze there blowing out to left at 12 miles an hour, which we've sort of debunked that there's really no wind there that makes any difference. It's just swirling and cold. So always good for the pitchers, and the total in Vegas shows it. 7.5 is the total here. 3.53 implied for the Cubbies and 3.97 for the Giants. The veteran Marcus Stroman, 8.1K versus fellow veteran righty Alex Cobb at a very affordable 6.7K. So that is what it looks like, my friend. What's your first take on this 13-game main slate?
I mean, I think it's going to be an interesting slate. There's a lot of good matchups. There's tons of pay-up pitchers. Not to segue into our next segment, but there's tons of pay-up pitchers on this slate. And I think landing on the right one or two is going to be the key, because you can always find value as far as the bats go. So,
yeah, and I think there's been more value bat-wise on the pricing on DraftKings and Fanduel and even Yahoo. You can find $7 guys and $9 guys that are good players. So it really is. It comes down to really taking the pitchers that you want and then finding the bats that are going to fit in there. But, I don't think you're going to have just dead chalk in pitching today. There's so many selections and a lot of different ways you can go.
Yeah, there's no way. I mean, you've got, 6 legitimate number one pitchers for their start, for their team. So, yeah.
No doubt. I'm with you. Yeah. All right, Crash, let's do this, man. Let's do this. We are going to go through, as we normally do here on Coach Talk, our pay up, value, and fade pitchers. Crash, give us all 3 of them if you can, and let us know what and why you're picking them and how you're going to build that team around those pitchers.
All right. So for my top pitcher, I'm going with Justin Verlander. He's 11-1 on FanDuel, 10-5 on DraftKings. Going up against the Mariners. He just faced them last Saturday in Seattle. In that game, he pitched 7 innings, struck out 9, and allowed only 1 run for 55 fantasy points. He scored 50-plus fantasy points in 3 of his last 4 starts. So I really like the way that he's played against Seattle. He's faced them 5 times, and 4 of those 5 times he's had a lot of success. So I like Justin Verlander as my top pay-up option. My value play is going to be Martin Perez. He's 9,600 on FanDuel, but he's only 8,400 on DraftKings. And he's going up against the Angels. They have the highest strikeout rate this year at 26.3%. And they have been struggling, ever since Mike Trout went down with his back injury. And they were shut out last night by Spencer Howard in the bullpen for the Rangers. So it was surprising to me that they were shut out. So, but I do think that Martin Perez will be able to take advantage of that lineup. And then my fade pitcher is going to be Shane Bieber. He's 10-6 on FanDuel, so he's way more expensive over there. He's only 8,900 on DraftKings, so he's a little bit better of a play over on DraftKings. But, I can just pay up to Verlander or down to Perez, or even pay 100 less on FanDuel to Kyle Wright against Arizona. And I would rather do that than pay for Bieber. So that's going to be my top pitcher, Verlander, my value, Perez, and my fade, Shane Bieber.
Very nice. We have different takes today. So for me, my pay-up pitcher, I'm going right to Garrett Cole and the Yankees. I just like the spot here. I think he bounces back. I mean, we know Kansas City just continues to gut their team like they always do. The Yankees scooped Andrew Benintendi from them. And, Kansas City is expected to let more guys go. So you've got, a down clubhouse there, a team that's not playing well against Garrett Cole, who's a little ticked off after not pitching the best game last time out against Baltimore. But, I just think price-wise, you can make it work. Cole's 10-4 on DraftKings, 11K on FanDuel, and 55 on Yahoo. So he's not cheap. But, again, it's against a KC team that, again, is way undermanned, and I think he just goes out there and dominates. Even in a bad performance last time out, as far as Cole standards, he had 31 against Baltimore. But before that, he had 61 and 58. And I expect him to have a game in the 50s again against this Royals team. For my value pitcher, I really like this guy today. Alek Manoah. I think his price is right. I'm going to have him all over the place because he's going against Detroit, who absolutely is pathetic against right-handed pitchers. They are 29th in the league. They are batting .213 against righties, Crash, as a team. I mean, that's about as bad as it gets.
Yeah.
And Manoah's dominant. It's at home. His price is right. He's 9,400 on DraftKings, 10-2 on Fanduel, 55 on Yahoo. But I mean, he's gone 46, 46, and 44 his last 3 outings. I think he's just going to blow through this Detroit team. I really love him today. My fade pitcher is going to be Robbie Ray, a guy that we fade a lot. He's 8-7 with a 3.90, but he's pricey always. People still love Robbie Ray at times. I don't know why for sure. I know he does have some good outings under his belt, but he's 93, 9,700, and 47. So that's expensive, and I just don't see why you would want to put him out there against Houston, in Houston. Just doesn't add up to me. I think Robbie Ray is a good fade for the day.
Yeah, I agree.
Excellent. All right, that takes care of our pitching side of things. Now let's go to another important aspect of what we do here at Coach Talk every day. We are going to give you our top BVP play and our top HR call for the day. So, Crash, who is your BVP selection for this slate?
Going back to what you were just talking about, I'm going to go with Jose Altuve. He's 4,000 on FanDuel, 5,200 on DraftKings. He's hit 579 against Robbie Ray with 11 hits and 19 at-bats, including 5 singles, 3 doubles, a triple, and 2 home runs. And he hit a home run on the first pitch of the game last weekend. So, yeah, I definitely like Altuve against Robbie Ray.
I do too. And by the way, just to solidify my Ray as my fade, he got killed by the Astros last week, and that was in Seattle.
Yeah, on Sunday. That's when it was. Couldn't think of the day, but yeah, it was Sunday. Yep.
I'm with you. Altuve's my BVP play of the day, and we believe in BVP here. I know it's 11 for 19, small sample size, but it's 579. I mean, you tell me he's not walking in there with a little bit of cockiness that he's going to smash it, and Ray's not a little bit nervous about the whole thing.
Yeah.
So I'm with you, man. I mean, of those 11 hits, 6 of them are extra bases, 2 homers, 4 ribbies. But here are the numbers that are just ridiculous. 1810 for the OPS, 1158 slugging, 652 OBP, and that softball number 579 batting average. I just say plug Altuve in all your lineups, cash, hybrid, single entry, GPP. I think he's a needed piece to the puzzle today.
I agree.
HR call, brother.
I'm going with Hunter Renfroe. He's homered in 4 of his 6 games since the All-Star break, and he's going back home, or not back home, but back to Boston where he played last year. So he's real familiar with that ballpark. And he's hit 12 of his 17 home runs this year against right-handed pitchers. So I like Hunter Renfroe back in Boston, a little bit of a revenge narrative, and he's been red hot. So all that put together, Hunter Renfroe.
I like it. I'm going with a guy I know that I have not picked all year long for my home run or BVP play, but I think the matchup's too good. It's Gary Sanchez, Gary franchise. With Minnesota, he's sort of a forgotten guy a lot of times. You don't hear much talk about him, but he's really owned Blake Snell. I mean, when you go 6 for 20 against somebody, that's pretty good, 300, but all 6 are extra base hits. 5 of them are homers. So he's not exactly fooling him. And Sanchez is obviously seeing the ball phenomenal against him because he's walked 7 times as well. Wow. So, I mean, 6 extra base hits, 7 walks in 20 official plate appearances, 1581 OPS, 1100 slugging, 41 OBP, and 300 average. So I think Sanchez just keeps it going and goes deep on Blake Snell today.
I like it, Coach.
All right. How about now we go to our stacks? What do you have for your stack plays today, Crash?
Okay. I've got Toronto. They're going up against the minor league call-up pitcher and Brian Garcia. And then I'm picking on the Bryans here, I guess. Milwaukee against Brian Bello. He's allowed 4, 4, and 5 runs in 4 innings in all 3 of his starts this year. And then I like the Cardinals, if that game plays, against Anibal Sanchez with Arenado and Goldschmidt back in the lineup. And then GPP will be Houston against Robbie Ray. You know, we just saw this matchup last Sunday. They hit him hard, and I don't see any reason why they wouldn't, going with your fade there, against Robbie Ray. So
I'm with you. I'm going to own a lot of guys from this Dodgers-Colorado game. We talked about it yesterday. It's the biggest total on the board. It's in Coors. The weather's warm. If it stays dry, which I think it will, I'm going to, I know it's chalky. It's no hot take, but I do think you have to have some Dodgers-Colorado exposure. Also, I like the Yankees. I think, Bubic is not good. Yankees with those righties are just ridiculous. So Yankees are an easy play today as well. I mean, there's so many guys I want. It's ridiculous. But I'm also with you on the sneaky, maybe GPP-ish type of stack. St. Louis, who hasn't really hit the ball great lately, but it's against Sanchez. If that game plays, like you said, we have to be very careful there. But I think St. Louis is primed with their big bats back in the lineup to have a better game.
I agree.
All right, Chief, how about we go to prize picks for our top 2 prize picks plays of the day?
Okay. I'm going to go with Martin Perez over 5 strikeouts. That number's a little low to me against the Angels. I think he can get probably 6 to 7.
That does seem low.
Yeah. And then my other play for hitter is going to be Hunter Renfroe over 1.5 total bases. With my home run call, obviously over on 1.5.
Sweet. I love my 2 plays today. I am loading up on this one. Alek Manoah over 43.5 fantasy points. I think he's. I have him in 50, so I never have somebody projected 6.5 over. I just think he rolls this team, and I think he gets a bunch of strikeouts, and I think he just, that number just flies, and that's the Fanduel number, by the way, that counts in prize for the pitching. For the hitting, I think this number moves today. Our man Altuve, we read you those ridiculous softball numbers. It's only 7.5. That's it.
It was 7 last night when I got it. So,
you did? Really?
Yeah.
Did you play it at 7?
I hope so. I thought I did, but I'm not sure if I did actually.
Oh, no. Well, that's okay. 7.5 still great. I bet you it moves to 8 as the day goes on. I wouldn't be
it
surprised.
should probably be 9 given his history against Ray, but
Exactly. No, I love it. All right, and now let's do. We have 2 things left to go. So if you're watching, we're going to do our Boom Fantasy 2 plays of the day, our 2 wagers that we're going to make on baseball, and then we're going to build the 2 brains are better than 1 Friday lineup here. And it cashed last night. Let's do it again tonight. So we're going to put our 2 noggins together and hopefully come up with again about 1 1/3 brains when you add our 2 together. But we'll take it whatever we can get. But if you're watching right now, this is the time again. If you didn't do it on the way in, hit the thumbs up. Do us a favor. We do this in front of the paywall every day. All we ask is you hit that thumbs up, you hit that subscribe button. And if you make a little comment, great show, didn't like the show, love the show, blah, 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 whatever it is, that really helps us in the algorithm. Put something in there, give us some feedback, ask us a question. We really do appreciate that. And we're, our likes and our views are really exploding here, and we really want to get you involved with that. Also wanted to mention too, if you're watching on YouTube, we love that. Check us out on Twitter. All of our information's there. We're at DFS Coach Talk, and as you can see underneath our pictures here, we're at Joe Sarvati and at JP Davis 1982. And as of yesterday, we're now on TikTok. So we're a badass, cool, young group here. And just to say that means we're not. So
right.
but we're trying to be. So we are on TikTok. It's
Right.
DFS Coach Talk. So you'll see the snippet today on there of our pitchers and our BVP and HR calls. So start following us on TikTok, and we'd love to get engaged with you there. We're really getting that rolling because Boom Fantasy is blowing up on TikTok as well. And we're partnering with them when they launch here in about 2.5 weeks, and very, very excited about that. So definitely want to do that. And if you want to become a member at Coach Talk, you see it on the bottom of the screen, our best package of the year, you can get from now until October 1st. That's all of our baseball, all of our golf, both PGA and LIV, all of our MMA and NASCAR. And then the first month of NFL on top of that, Crash, all for $110.
Awesome.
Everything we've got full in there until October 1st. If you just want to dip your toes in the water, just go to our website, dfscoachtalk.com. You can sign up for as little as a 3-day pass for $10. All right. Love it. What are your 2 bets? Our Boom Fantasy, clean them out, crush them, lock washer plays of the day. What do you got?
I like the Twins. I think if I saw it right, the Padres are favored in that game.
You're quizzing me now? I already took down our lines here, so you're going to have to make the call here, buddy. You are flying solo.
I believe the Padres are minus 120 right now, so I like the Twins as a slight underdog.
Okay.
And then the Texas and LA Angels game, I like the under at 7.5 implied total. They had 2 implied total runs last night, or 2 total runs last night, and it was 2-0 Texas. So I think that they can stay under that number with Martin Perez and Patrick Sandoval pitching. So I think
I think that's a good play. I respect both of those guys.
Yeah.
My 2 plays, I'm going to have to lay some bread out there, as our man Lanny says. We got to put the bread on the table. It's going to cost. Sometimes it costs money to win money, but I like the Yankees on the run line here. So minus a 1.5 at home. That always stings a little bit, because you can get bit, but it's minus 180, which sounds horrible for giving a 1.5 at home. I think they just murder KC. KC is just so, wave the white flag. I think this game just floats to a victory. So I'm not afraid to put up the 180 for run line Yankees. My second game, we mentioned a little bit about that. I also like St. Louis today on the money line. They're minus 171. I don't want to give the run there, but I'm willing to lay that. I think it's a very fair price. And I do think St. Louis is going to hit the ball well today with their 2 big bats back in the lineup. So those are my 2 Boom Fantasy plays of the day as well.
Yeah, we came close on that Toronto. I don't know if you're keeping up with that, but that Toronto-Detroit game, Detroit made a late push, and I thought we were going to get there. But I think they ended at, 7 or 8 total runs?
Yeah, I think we were run short, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so it came close, but
we're going to hit it today. We're going 4-0 today, Crash. So
let's do it.
Let's load them up. All right, we're going to dive into this FanDuel 2 brains are better than 1 GPP lineup, and it's my turn to pick first. I'm going to take Alek Manoah, my friend.
I figured you were going to do that.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah, for sure.
Good. All
right.
Yeah,
in fact, when I was first looking at the matchups, I was like, oh, wow, Manoah against Detroit, I should take. But then there's so many different options that you could take on this slate that
there are
different directions, but I definitely still like Manoah.
Good.
And I'm putting this in the single entry, there's the 8K Friday MLB Web Gem. It's $3 entry.
Okay.
Staying with our Coach Talk theme of single entry tournaments here. So.
Yes, I'll join it as well. We can split it with anybody else that's listening. We'll all be up top together.
Sounds good. I'm going to go with I know what I'm doing. I'm going to go with Altuve.
Yep, that would have been my play as well. So I love that play. All right, so we are at just under 3,000 per head, so we're still in pretty good shape here.
Mm-hmm.
And again, if there are any changes to the lineup, you're not a member, just check it out on Twitter. We'll be updating anything there as the day goes on. If there's any changes, hopefully there's not. I am going to go with between two guys here. I want to give us a little head start price-wise too. All right, this is a weird pick. I don't know if you're going to agree with it or not, but I'm going to take Josh Naylor from Cleveland at
the outfield.
If you have a first baseman in line, I can take him in the outfield. If not, I'll take him at first base.
Well, what I was thinking is if you wanted to take Gary at catcher, and then we can save money, and then we can put Naylor in the outfield.
Okay, that works for me.
Okay.
So that means you get two picks because Sanchez is only 2,300 and Naylor's 3,200 in the outfield. So you have two picks coming. 3,060 is our average guy. So we're in great shape.
Yeah. I will take Hunter Renfroe, and
he has been red hot.
Jeremy Pena, who went back-to-back with Altuve last week.
Yeah. We've been rostering Jeremy Pena a lot.
I love him against lefties.
Yeah. He's absolutely kills the ball. All right. You know who I want? And I know he's going to probably be moved around the order, but it's okay. Even if he's down in the projected 6 or 7 hole and not leading off, I like Andrew Benintendi against his old team.
Okay.
I'm still going with that narrative, and I think he's cheap enough.
He can hit lefties too. So
yeah, I know it's lefty on lefty, but I like it.
Yeah.
I just think it fits, and he's going to be super low owned.
Yep. Yeah, because a lot of people got burned by him last night.
Yep. And they're going to see lefty and pass, but I think he has a good game.
Yeah, I do too.
You got third base and utility.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? We don't have a single guy from that Colorado LA game. That's sort of a bummer.
Yeah, but it is the GPP.
Yeah, and those will be chalk plays.
Yeah. Let me see something real quick here.
Your buddy Jake Lamb's on the board.
Yeah, I was actually just looking at his 1 for 2 only. Not a lot of sample size there.
No. You're stumped.
Yeah, a little bit.
You can trade this pick for future considerations.
I wish.
I recommend Jake Lamb.
Okay.
You want me to just take Jake and then you can have the $3,000 utility spot so you don't blow a vein in your brain here?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So you got $3,000, got a billion choices here.
Mm-hmm.
All kinds of choices. But this is the pick that will make the difference. Win, lose, or draw. People are yelling at their computers and phones. Pick already, Crash.
Let's see.
This guy better hit like a homer and a triple with all this brain power going into it.
This is, let's see. This is going to be a.
There's so many good players at that price.
They're cheap.
I thought you'd take McCutchen. That was my guess.
I thought about it, but Yeah, I will.
I knew it.
Against Bello, yeah.
You better never play poker against me because I can read you.
Well, I was thinking about
friends.
taking Kyle Lewis, so I bet you weren't thinking that.
No, I did not have on the radar. So
he actually had good
me.
numbers against Verlander. So in a
Yeah.
GPP, I was thinking, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. That was
What?
I'm going to trust my gut. It's going to leave 800 on the board, but I'm going to do it.
All right. It's a GPP play. So I may play both. I may play one with McCutchen and one with Lewis just to have both covered. But definitely give it a shot.
But we got plenty of money if we have to make any kind of a switch. That's for sure.
Yeah. Hopefully we won't, but if we do, we can make it happen.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. This is your GPP play for FanDuel today. Manoah, Sanchez, Altuve, Lamb, Pena, Naylor, Renfroe, Benintendi, and Lewis. That is a unique GPP lineup right there.
Yeah, that won't be duplicated much at all, if at all.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
All right, my friends, that is it for today. We got the whole deal in there. Again, sign up, dfscoachtalk.com to be part of our family. We have the best in the industry. Check us out on Twitter at DFS Coach Talk. Check us out, DFS Coach Talk on TikTok. And we're pretty much everywhere, my man. We've got this thing covered. We're going to have an awesome Friday and an incredible weekend here coming up. We've got MMA and NASCAR this weekend, along with both golf tours, which now are the norm, and tons of baseball. So it's going to be a fun weekend. We'd love to have you aboard. I always say Fridays are the best day for that 3-day $10 deal because you get all of our action all Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So come give us a try. We'd love to have you join us. Any final words, Crash?
I'm starting to pull back on this Lewis pick already. I don't know why.
Do you want to yank him? We can still take him out. It's not too late.
I'm actually going to go a different direction.
Oh boy. Okay.
Another different direction. So I'm going to pair up Jose Miranda with Gary Sanchez. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay. So Lewis is out in that last spot. Miranda's the play. So now I've got to play 3 plays, one with Miranda, one with Lewis, and one with McCutchen.
Yeah, but
this is getting expensive.
Miranda's been very impressive to me. He's really good against lefties. You know, we compare him up with Gary Sanchez. I just, at the back of that lineup, I just like the mix there. So
okay, well, it's official. You got it in under the wire. So hopefully people listen to the end. If they cut it off right after that,
listen to the end. Yeah,
that's right. That's reason why you can't shut us down too soon.
Yeah.
So, all right, everyone, have an absolutely fantastic Friday. Crash and I will be back again together tomorrow for a big full slate. So we'll be back to join you then. So also tomorrow, I wanted to mention we're going to have our first football podcast coming out tomorrow afternoon. We're doing our breakdown of the top 10 quarterbacks for what we're combining together, which is our fantasy year-long leagues, best balls, dynasty leagues, all of those sort of combined. We're doing a group of football podcasts for each position, top 10s. And it's the debut of our man, Stephen Miller, who I'm very, very excited is joined us, our NFL team. He's got a great background, played college football, a lot of connections in the NFL. So we're real excited to have him join us. So definitely check that out. That'll drop tomorrow, probably around dinner time. If you want to start dabbling in the NFL, because the camps are open. We're right in August, so it's time.
It is time.
All right, my friend. Everybody have a great day. Thank you again for listening in, and we'll be back again tomorrow when we look to crush it in MLB, DFS, Prize Picks, and Boom Fantasy.